This one rare American penny could be worth over $270,000, and most people would spend it without noticing. I found a mysterious lucky penny hiding a secret collectors are desperate to own. The date, mint mark, and tiny details changed everything. Before I reveal where this ultra-rare coin can be sold for a fortune, watch till the end. One small coin, one life-changing discovery. Hash rare penny, hash lucky coin, hash coin value, hash hidden treasure, hash rare coins. A man in Ohio walked into a small roadside diner carrying nothing but a few crumpled dollar bills and loose change rattling in his pocket. He paid for coffee, grabbed his receipt, and left behind 3 pennies on the counter without even looking at them. Hours later, a local coin collector sitting in that same diner noticed something unusual in the copper shine of one tiny coin sitting near the register. It looked older, darker, almost forgotten by time itself. The date read 1920. No mint mark beneath the year. A wheat penny. At first glance, most people would have ignored it completely. But collectors know certain coins carry a silent energy around them. They survive wars, economic crashes, and generations of circulation before suddenly reappearing in ordinary places like gas stations, flea markets, parking lots, and family coin jars. What makes this terrifying is that hidden treasures like this are still being accidentally spent every single day. Stay with me, because this coin is not just rare. It has crossed into the world of serious money. And before this story ends, you will understand why collectors become obsessed with finding these forgotten pennies before they vanish forever into private vaults. Do not spend this coin. The 1920 wheat penny without a mint mark was struck at the legendary United States Mint facility in Philadelphia during one of the most fascinating periods in American history. The world was recovering from World War I. America was transforming rapidly. Factories were booming, automobiles were flooding the streets, and ordinary people carried these pennies in their pockets without imagining they could one day become hidden fortunes. This particular coin belongs to the iconic wheat cent series designed by legendary sculptor Victor David Brenner. On the obverse, Abraham Lincoln's portrait faces right with the inscriptions, "In God We Trust" above, "Liberty" to the left, and the year 1920 below. But here's where collectors immediately become alert. There is no mint mark beneath the date. That means it came from Philadelphia, and certain surviving examples from this year possess incredibly desirable strike quality and preservation characteristics. Most people miss this detail completely. To ordinary eyes, it looks like just another old penny. To elite collectors, it can represent a once-in-a-generation discovery. Pay attention to this detail because it changes everything. The 1920 wheat penny was made primarily from 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc, giving it that warm reddish-brown glow collectors desperately love. It weighs approximately 3.11 grams and measures 19 millimeters in diameter with a thickness of around 1.55 millimeters. The edge is completely smooth, known as a plain edge, but over decades of circulation, authentic coins develop natural toning patterns that create a deep chocolate brown surface or fiery red highlights. Original color matters enormously in the coin world. In fact, 2 pennies from the same year can differ in value by hundreds of thousands of dollars depending on their surface preservation. This is why experienced collectors never clean old coins. The moment someone scrubs a wheat penny with chemicals or wipes away its original texture, the hidden history disappears forever. Cleaning destroys value. Original surfaces are everything. Some cleaned coins lose more than 80% of their potential market price instantly. That is why serious buyers inspect every tiny detail under powerful magnification before placing bids. What happens next is shocking because the rarity of this coin is not simply about age. Millions of 1920 pennies were originally minted, but survival is the real story. Most were heavily circulated during the Great Depression, World War II, and decades of daily spending. Families used them for groceries, train fares, newspapers, candy, and survival during difficult times. Very few remained untouched. Even fewer survived in fine condition with attractive surfaces and strong details visible in Lincoln's hair, cheek, and coat lines. Every scratch, dent, or cleaning mark reduces desirability. And because people underestimated pennies for generations, countless rare examples were destroyed, melted, or permanently damaged. That is why collectors today search obsessively through bank rolls, estate sales, antique shops, and inherited coin jars, hoping to uncover one forgotten wheat penny nobody else recognized. Hidden wealth often hides in plain sight. Imagine opening an old wooden box inherited from a grandparent and hearing dozens of coins slide against each other. Most people would rush through them carelessly, but seasoned collectors stop immediately when they see the wheat reverse design. Two elegant wheat stalks frame the words O and E cent and United States of America, while the motto E pluribus unum stretches across the top. That classic reverse design represents one of the most beloved eras in American coinage history. For collectors, the wheat penny is not just currency. It is a time machine connected to early 20th century America. And the 1920 issue without mint mark carries a mysterious appeal because high-quality survivors are becoming increasingly difficult to locate. Every year, more examples disappear into long-term collections where they may never return to the market again. This shrinking supply is exactly what fuels demand and pushes prices higher during major auctions. Now picture a quiet auction room filled with wealthy collectors sitting under soft lights. No one speaks loudly. No one looks distracted. Every eye is focused on one tiny copper coin sealed inside a protective grating holder. The auctioneer slowly introduces the 1920 wheat penny without mint mark in fine condition. The room becomes tense instantly. Bidders know opportunities like this do not appear often. One paddle rises quietly. Then another. The price climbs rapidly past amounts most people would never imagine paying for a single penny. Thousands become tens of thousands. Tension builds. Hearts race. A collector in the back refuses to back down. Another bidder joins by phone. The atmosphere feels electric because everyone understands the same terrifying truth. Once this coin disappears into a private collection, it may not resurface for years. Stay with me because this is where the silent fortune becomes real. The final hammer price reaches an astonishing $287,500. For one penny, one tiny piece of copper most people would have ignored in their spare change. This changes everything because viewers watching right now may already own similar coins without realizing it. Across America, old wheat pennies still hide inside jars, dresser drawers, attic boxes, estate collections, and forgotten piggy banks. Some remain mixed with ordinary pennies because family members never check dates or mint marks carefully. Others continue circulating quietly through cash registers and coin rolls at banks. That is exactly why collectors constantly search through penny rolls hoping for impossible discoveries. The dream is always alive because hidden treasures do occasionally appear in the most ordinary places imaginable. A child once found a valuable wheat penny while counting lunch money. Another appeared in change from a vending machine. These stories sound unbelievable until they happen. Most people miss the small indicators that separate common coins from extraordinary ones. Collector demand focuses heavily on strike sharpness, natural luster, original color, and surface preservation. Experts inspect Lincoln's jawline, beard details, lettering sharpness, and wheat line visibility on the reverse. Even tiny differences can transform value dramatically. Coins graded professionally by organizations like Professional Coin Grading Service or Numismatic Guarantee Company often command much higher prices because buyers trust certified authenticity and condition accuracy. This is why experienced collectors never rush to sell rare discoveries. Proper grading can mean the difference between a few $100s and a six-figure payday. And remember this warning carefully. Never polish or clean an old penny hoping to make it look newer. Natural age is valuable. Damage is permanent. As market demand for historic American coins continues growing, wheat pennies remain among the strongest collector favorites in the numismatic world. Younger investors, history enthusiasts, and wealthy private collectors are competing aggressively for premium examples because supply keeps shrinking every year. Coins with original surfaces and strong eye appeal attract intense attention at auctions. And unlike modern collectibles produced in massive quantities, these coins survived an entire century of circulation, economic hardship, and accidental destruction. That survival story creates emotional value far beyond metal content. People are not simply buying copper. They are buying history, rarity, and the thrill of owning something most of the world overlooked. And that is why the 1920 wheat penny without mint mark in fine condition has become one of the most fascinating hidden treasure coins in American history. A single penny once used to buy candy or newspapers can now command an unbelievable $287,500 under the right circumstances. Somewhere out there, another one may still be hiding unnoticed in ordinary change, waiting for someone observant enough to recognize it before it disappears forever. So tonight, before you ignore that old jar of coins sitting in your house, take a closer look. Check every date carefully. Pay attention to missing mint marks. Examine every wheat penny you find, because one small detail could change your life completely. Do not spend this coin. And if this video opened your eyes to the hidden fortunes hiding in everyday circulation, subscribe now because the next rare coin discovery might already be sitting in your pocket without you even knowing it.